When I was little, I had zero confidence. I am an introvert by nature. I grew up in a small town where there weren't a lot of families of color. I had immigrant parents that maybe had a harsher way to discipline or motivate. And it's now in my late 30s where I'm building up confidence, teaching others how to be confident, and recognizing that I have the ability to do things. And if you're on that journey, if you're on that quest, let me show you how. So what's the true meaning of confidence? The true meaning of confidence is feeling sure of yourself and your abilities. It's not about being better than others or comparing yourself. It's a quiet inner knowing that you are capable. So the first step to this is figuring out if we have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is when we have the internal belief that we can learn, grow, and develop new skills, and we can reshift patterns and behaviors that maybe we've been practicing for a while. A fixed mindset is when we believe that we are the way we are and we cannot change. So a helpful thing to do is take my quiz, the mindset quiz. The link is in the description, and it'll give you an idea of where you are in terms of that scale. Do I have a growth mindset or do I have a fixed mindset? And it does have some strategies that you can implement to start shifting your mind about where you fall on that spectrum. The second step we need to practice is figuring out where we want to grow our confidence. What area of life do we feel less confident? What does that look like? How do we behave? Paint a picture. Where is that? Is it when you're parenting your child? Is it when you're at work and you're not speaking up about your ideas? Is it in your romantic relationship? Where do we lack the confidence? And I highly encourage you to write this down so we get a really, really good grasp on where we need to zero in on in terms of supporting building your confidence. Step number 3, self-evaluation and self-awareness. What is keeping you stuck from growing in that area to build competence, which will lead to confidence? What do we do? What are our defense mechanisms? Do we procrastinate? Do we try to implement something and then our negative self-talk takes a hold of it and we don't move forward with the plan? Do we feel like we're not good enough to implement a strategy around increasing confidence in this area? Do we feel like we lack time? What is it for yourself that is keeping you stuck? We need to identify those triggers that really get you to freeze and not move forward. What are they? So we can action plan around them to make sure that we are moving forward. I then want you to visualize and think about what would a person who is confident do in these scenarios? What would they look like? What would they talk like? What would their behaviors be like? What would they be able to achieve? And I want you to start noticing what that feels like in your body when you think of this or visualize this image in your head. Would their posture be taller? Would they be more assertive in the way that they speak? Do they have more knowledge around, let's say, boundaries or limits? What do they possess that you want to have? Which then leads me to step number 4. We want to get very specific on what we want. Do we want to be more confident in the way we interact with our spouse? Do we want to be more confident in the ways that we speak to ourselves? What is it that you want? Be very specific on this. The more specific we get, the better we can work towards achieving that goal. Step number 5 is all about developing competency in that area. Competency is the ability to do something efficiently and successfully. And so without competency, we're not going to build confidence. So let's say one of the areas that we selected is relationships, romantic relationships. And we want to be more confident in that area when we talk to our spouse. In step number 5, we need to start thinking about what can I tap into that is going to help me gain knowledge, a different perspective, and some competency in this area. Is it a podcast? Is it a book? Is it talking to a therapist? Is it talking to friends? What is it that we can implement to start building up that competency for us? And then lastly, step number 6, we want to implement a small action plan. So does that look like reading this book or listening to this podcast for 5 minutes a day? Is it 10 minutes a day? Is it maybe joining a book club that is looking at this area that we want to build confidence in? Is it having discussions with other people to help us gain some perspectives? Is it doing a course or doing some research or watching some YouTube videos? What is it? What can we do daily for 5 to 10 minutes, because we want to start small, to start building up our competence in the area where we want to build confidence? Fear is the number one killer of building confidence. Maybe when we were younger, we had an inner dialogue, or people were telling us that we weren't good enough. Maybe there's lots of negative impacts from our childhood. Maybe our self-esteem is tarnished and we're just like, man, this is hard. I just don't want to do this. But on the other hand, we're struggling and we know that something has to change. Something that we need to overcome is the realization that fear is what keeps us stuck. And it's okay for us to come out of our comfort zones just a little bit, taking that one small step to improve in whatever area of life that we need. I highly suggest this book for those who get stuck and paralyzed with fear, called One Small Step. It's a great book. It gives us very actionable things. It also goes into the brain science of the amygdala and why we get stuck, because there is a mind-body connection to our habits, our behaviors, and our thought processes. And the amygdala is trying to keep us safe. And so when we have a new habit or idea, the amygdala goes, whoa, 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 what are you doing? No, we're used to being a certain way, so we need to go back to that certain way. It causes that fear response, which continues to keep us stuck. So really important that we are looking at this competency confidence model to help us overcome those fears. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you found this to be helpful. We're all on a quest to shed the chaos of our lives, and building confidence is definitely one of those big steps that can help us do that. Please help me get the word out.